Hello, guys, and welcome back to the first wrap up here of the new year in January 10th. So, took a couple weeks off there, did some trading, did some swing trading, which I've uploaded some, and there's some more coming this week. And of course, some day trading with some algos I have. Just this particular series on hold while I kind of got my feet back after my vacation. So, again, if you are new here for the start of the year, essentially what we do here is I'm an algorithmic trader. I do it for swing trading, day trading, and this particular style, which I built to help a client I had who essentially really loved his job, didn't want to leave his job, but wanted to figure out a way to swing trade and make a little bit more of an income and grow his account while working. So we came up with this strategy where essentially you pick 4 longs and 4 shorts from some back-tested, optimized strategies. And from there, you can plug that right into Brokerage Plus and have them auto-trade it throughout the week for you by Trade Ideas, their auto trading module. At the end of the week, we close down all the positions and we scan for the next week and rinse and repeat. So I did it pretty much all last year. It worked out great. What I'm going to start doing is just building a spreadsheet this year to kind of show the difference that's going on there. But this will be the first issue, the first week that we're kind of doing this. So again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. You can check out, there's live day trading videos, live swing trading videos, and then this is which is kind of my thoughts of the market and kind of what I'm looking to take a look at for the next week. So we always start here with the SPY, where everything started. And again, if you are new, there are some really cool additions here to Trade Ideas, which is coming out in the next beta that you guys are going to have access to. One is little quick action bars, so you can draw trend lines and horizontal support and resistance and annotate a lot easier. And the other is news that you'll see here. So they have news now built right into the system, which will pull kind of the top news for that particular symbol and where it's from. So that's kind of what you're seeing here. And then here you are seeing the stocks that I'm going to watch this week. And next week you'll see the P&L of those stocks. And we'll go over, so I always go over what I made on this strategy last week and what I'm planning on doing the next week. So it's kind of fully upfront and transparent. So really looking here in the SPY, no real reason to be too worried. However, I do see this kind of tightening type wedge pattern on the way up. We've gotten this massive move from kind of 280 to 330 almost, pretty much straight up. So I would not be shocked if this resolved lower and maybe a base sideways or so before continuing. But certainly no reason to be kind of calling for the end of days. Just a little bit of a pattern that I'm seeing that these kind of tightening wedges usually resolve in the opposite direction of the trend. So I've got my eye on that. So what we're watching this week, of course, we have nothing to wrap up for last week because we didn't really have anything we were watching. But we'll start with the shorts. So the first one is HHC. Essentially, the theory is here that we've broke down on this big opening range day here, earnings or something to that respect. And then ever since that, we've had a big, strong area of resistance right here. We came up and touched this the other day and put in a hammer candle. And then this big elephant bar right here. So as anyone who's followed me for any length of time know, I'm a huge, huge candlestick guy. And so I'm looking at it kind of like this, where we have this rising wedge, the same I showed in the SPY, but in the context of this overall downtrend. So I think if we break the low of this kind of elephant bar, there's going to be some stop losses there, and we could continue lower to push the lows here. Next is XNCR, same type of deal, where we had this big strong move down, and then this little pop up that failed with these kind of this big elephant bar here as well, and then this inside kind of inverted hammer here as well. So taking a look at this, if we break down under this area, we'll also kind of be breaking, excuse my horrible drawing here, but we'll be breaking under this trend line. I can use the actual trend line button now. So we will be kind of breaking under this trend line here, and I think that could continue to push us lower. So here on CNC, same kind of thing. I've been studying these RSI divergences recently, and they seem to be pretty powerful. So I'm going to start including these into a bit of my trading, where essentially when the RSI is trending lower like this and the stock is trending higher, it just shows a kind of a higher move on less momentum. So again, nothing to write home about by itself. But if you zoom out here on CNC just a little bit, you can see that this area here, this $65 area, was kind of where we broke down under that last push higher. So with that in mind, I'm looking at those two things and saying, okay, if we break under these two indecision candles that we have here, it's potential some profit taking could come in. Here on TRV, last but not least for the short side, basically we've had this gap down, and then we've come up and we've tried to retest the gap here, 140, and it just looks like we're kind of failing here, right? Every push is met with selling. We had a gap down, a little spinning top here, so kind of under this indecision area, I think we could push lower. So now for the longs. So we balance this portfolio out just to make sure that we've got some longs and some shorts, and kind of away we go. So we have your very kind of typical bull flag here, where we have this push up higher. You notice all of the bottoming tails. Again, as a candlestick guy, look at all the bottoming tails that have happened here, showing me there's some accumulation in this area anyway. So I think if we break higher, we can push pretty good. Took a look at some of the news here. Really nothing to write home about kind of one way or the other, but a very interesting looking chart. So TXRH, so this declining wedge here, kind of like the opposite of those inclining wedges. You can see that we've been pushing out here with a whole bunch of indecision candles as of late. So this has been kind of gathering a power and momentum in this area. So I think if we break above this, we could have a quick little pop there. 8% short float isn't something too crazy, but it's still something to note. PS, essentially looking at PS here, we have this series of kind of higher lows happening here with these equal tops. So we have essentially a ascending triangle. So with these two indecision candles, both Thursday and Friday, I think if we break above those, it's a potential we push into the gap here. Last but not least is Sage, which is kind of the same thing, just a little bit shorter, where essentially we had this big gap down, and ever since then we've been trending higher and resting up against this area here. So nice, another descending or ascending triangle, and then tons of room here into the gap. So if we get pushing here with a 17% short float, and I'm sure that has grown since this move push down is created. And then we had this kind of big spike in option volume today I was looking at. So with 300% option volume, just showing that there might be someone getting a little bit interested. On the news front, we see a couple upgrades and things like this. So again, if we push through here, it's more of a lack of resistance that I see on this one. So that is all we are looking at for this week. Again, stay tuned for more live swing trading videos, more live day trading videos. Back to basics will be coming back as well in the New Year's, where I'm kind of teaching some newer traders, and then more of these every week. So I will talk to you guys soon.